Hello. All right, so it's been a while since I recorded one of these videos. I did play a game. I think this is about 3 weeks ago now. I did analyze it, I'd say a few days after I played it, which right there I already was forgetting some things, and now it's been almost 3 weeks. And yeah, so I'm going to try to go through this game. I did write down my analysis, so we'll see how it goes. But I'm going to try anyway. And I really don't feel like I'm going to bother editing this. So this is going to be, yeah, let's see. Okay. So, I was playing Forrest, who, he's 11 years old. I'd say a bit of a prodigy, I think. He's pretty good. So, um, I played the Sicilian for the first time ever, because I asked around and it turned out he knows how to play against the French pretty well. And I personally, I don't even know the French that well. I started playing it like a year ago. I never really studied it. I don't really know many openings as black very well. I used to play the perk, didn't really study that either. So it honestly doesn't really make a difference what I play, except I guess when I play the French, I tend to know some of the lines. But I don't know. I heard, if you play against Forrest and you play the Sicilian, he tends to play the Alpin. So at least I could maybe prepare against that specifically. Um, Turns out he didn't even end up playing that, but that's okay. This actually ended up being a really interesting game. So let's take a look at it. So let's do this here. Okay. Um, I can't see. Wow, sorry. Um, there we go. Okay, let's do that. I swear I'm not even gonna edit this. I just don't care. So bear with me. Okay. Let's, maybe I'll edit it a little bit. All right. There we go. That setup looks better. Okay. So, he plays b3, which is not a common move, but it's a new line that he was learning. I talked to him after the game, and this is what he played. Okay, so my response to this was pawn to e6. Turns out this is the third most common move, so most people play either knight c6 or d6. So just to kind of show you, so like this is a common move, and this is a common move, both of which make a good amount of sense. But I played e6, which is doable. And all of this is okay so far. Let's check. And here is where it got interesting because Forrest had only prepared against bishop to d7. So this is what he had prepared for. So I just happened to play a move that he was not prepared for. I'm not sure how uncommon the move is. Actually, I'm kind of interested to know that. So here, that's weird. It's just as common. 63 games with knight c6 and 60 with bishop d7. So I don't know why he wasn't prepared for it, but it's actually not that uncommon of a move. But anyway, I played knight c6, queen e2. So I decide to block with the queen, and this is where this is already kind of interesting. So I talked to some people about this position, and according to most people, and I think they might be right, it might just be better to block with the bishop. Um, I mean, I'd say it's more of a choice if you want to block with the queen or not. Totally both are doable, but there's definitely reasons to block with the bishop. Just to keep the queens on the board, not have to trade down to an endgame. Or at least, I mean, that's not actually what ended up happening in this game, even though, the queens were like able to trade for like many, many moves, and it never actually ended up, it happened like way later that we actually had a queen trade. Oh, 6 moves from now. Anyway, so d4. Um, and I went bishop f5. So I did consider bishop g4 first. Um, And it turns out the engine does like this more. So the reason I didn't play this, and I did think, well, this is going to kind of provoke F3, and maybe F3 is kind of weak. Like I did consider this, um, but I didn't like what happens after here. But it turns out that this would have been fine because after bishop takes, pawn takes, knight F6, if knight E2, let's see, if bishop A3, then knight D7, B4. And yeah, I think this is what I looked at and I was like, oh, well, I'm just down a pawn. But after A5, I mean, this looks pretty good for me, actually. Um, like really good. Apparently the computer considers this like completely winning. Yeah. Um, I don't know. I marked it as completely winning, so that must be what the computer thought. After F3, this is weakening. So my original idea, so like I said, my first idea was to go bishop G4 because it would provoke F3. But I didn't play it because I was worried about queen takes, but actually analyzing what happens after queen takes, this is good for me. Um, yeah. Well, all right. So I went bishop F5 though. After D takes, I took the pawn on C2, which is, nice little move. And then he played not such a good move. So he should have gone just probably knight F3. He went knight A3. If he goes knight F3, I take the queen and bishop D7, knight D2. Yeah, like this is okay for me. But after knight A3, it's just much better for me. Um, Yeah, this is the problem with me analyzing this game 3 weeks after playing it. I'm just it's not fresh in my head at all. So this might be not the best video, but it's okay. Rook D1. Okay. Yeah, Rook D1 was not great. This is just simply better for black now. If he goes Rook C1 after castles, yeah, this is not too bad for him, and he's defending that pawn. Like he needs to defend that pawn, basically. But instead he goes Rook D1. And I castle queenside here, which is the correct move, which is cool because it's kind of an unconventional move. But that is what the engine says is good too. So he took the queen, probably should not have. Takes bishop takes b4. So b4, he could have gone rook c1 here instead of b4. That would have been an option. Knight e3, rook d4. Yeah, so instead, again, rook c1 would have been better. Okay, I'm just going to go through this quickly. Um, Honestly, I should have reviewed this game after playing it. This is kind of a waste right now. I'm just, maybe I'll just give, I don't know. I need to look at this closer again if I'm gonna even bother doing this. But, oh boy. Let's see, A6, A5. Yeah, so after A5, he took, which is not good. I'm actually up by negative 2.5, so almost a full piece. Um, After this. He goes rook a4. King d1. So, I mean, honestly, it becomes kind of like a pretty game. Like, I like where it goes from here. So, I'll just kind of show you how the game ends. But this is not going to be the best analysis compared to what I've done in the past. So, rook e3. Yep. Knight f4 is a good alternative. But I like this. Knight ac2. Rook check. So rook e8. So king d7 could have been fine too, but this is good. a6, rook e8, stopping him from queening. Knight b3, bishop takes, bishop d4. Bishop takes, so here I am giving up the exchange, but that's the correct move, and I'm up by more than a full piece at this point. My position is just that good. Positionally, right? So I got the two bishops. I have, let's see, two pawns for the exchange. One, two, three. Yeah, I have two pawns for the exchange, and I got two bishops. It's just so much better for me. After king b2, rook takes, c2, c5. This is the correct move here. c1, c4, knight b4, and then here is where I messed up. I went pawn c3. And now it's gone from negative 4.45 to dead even. King a1. I'm not sure why he didn't actually take the pawn yet, but it's okay. So rook e3 is my best chance here. I'm at least up by a little now. Rook takes, rook c3, d4. And I'm at like so low on time here. Yeah, basically, I have less than a minute. I was still writing my moves down up until the very end. Like I was really trying to like not, I didn't want to lose the game by writing my moves down, but I really wanted to record this game. But at this point, yeah, it says I have 43 seconds left at this point. There is a 5-second delay, but yeah, there were people watching. Someone said that they might be able to recreate the game because they took a picture of my score sheet, so maybe I'll hear back from them. But for now, I have no idea how I managed to lose this. I am still winning by a little bit here, but I did lose this game. I have no idea how. So, but yeah, I was winning pretty much from almost the beginning. So after bishop b5, so again, he's not prepared for knight c6 for some reason. And then it's just, I don't know, it's an interesting game. There's just a lot of cool stuff here. And especially by the end, like giving up the exchange, like I'm really proud of how I played here. I lost, but it was a really fun game. Really enjoyed playing this. Um, just wish I had analyzed it right after playing it. Um, oh well. So till next time, I'm not sure when I'm going to play another tournament game anytime soon. Could be this week. Otherwise, I'm not sure. But for now, at least so far, I have gone over all my games since starting this channel. This one not very well, but I've done it. So, all right.